I'm Katie.
And I'm Kay.
And you're listening to the Babes of Quinte podcast.
Diamond Physiotherapy, from the very beginning, set out to challenge traditional physiotherapy by reconnecting people with their bodies, both physically and mentally.
The team at Diamond Physiotherapy is dedicated to treating the whole person. They have the resources and tools to treat immediate injuries and often address the root cause.
They recognize that every client has unique goals and challenges. No matter what the challenge may be, they will create an individualized treatment plan using the services they offer, including physiotherapy, vestibular rehabilitation, and psychotherapy.
To learn more and get a treatment plan that works for you, visit diamondphysiotherapy.ca and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Diamond Physiotherapy. By now, you have realized we are big fans of Simple Desk. Simple Desk is your ultimate destination to streamline marketing and strengthen your business's brand.
Jenny, the visionary behind Simple Desk, took her commitment to business support a step further by creating Brazen, an event for women who dare.
This full-day experiential event on May 31st, 2024 is packed with networking, vendor booths, exciting giveaways, delicious food, and a speakers panel of incredible women entrepreneurs sharing their inspiring stories.
Tickets are on sale now. For all the details and to buy your ticket before they sell out, visit simpledesk.ca/brazen.
And make sure to follow Brazen on Instagram at brazen_women. We understand the challenge of dealing with dental anxiety firsthand, but it doesn't have to stop you from getting the treatment you need.
At Family Dental Center, they're dedicated to enhancing your dental experience.
They have various services tailored to improve your visit, from weighted cozy blankets to ease restlessness to nitrous oxide for relaxation and oral conscious sedation to eliminate anxiety before and during your appointment.
The FDC team will work with you to find the best solution for your dental anxiety. Visit FamilyDentalCenter.com or call the Belleville, Frankfurt, or Coburg office to learn more.
You're back.
I'm back.
Last week,
you're back.
It was just me. I am back.
Yeah, because you were also sick. Still also sick.
Excuse me. I'm not that sick anymore. I don't have COVID. I've been testing.
Yesterday or the day before.
Wednesday, I was not doing well.
Yeah, I could tell when you didn't answer like my Facebook messages right away.
The problem is when I get like sinus infections and stuff, they trigger my migraines. So then I can't see out of my eye and it's just like, so no. And then when I get sick, when I get a cold, it lasts forever. So I don't have COVID. I'm starting to feel better. I'm just tired. And I'm masking at work and sanitizing and doing all the things.
You're good.
Yeah. Yeah, but what's going on? Like you were sick last week for 3 days. I've been in and out this week. What's up? Let's catch up.
What is up?
We're tired.
So tired. Oh my God. I think it's just like, it's actually daytime now, so I shouldn't even say like it's just like the weather, but like
the weather hasn't been great. It's actually sunny today, which is nice. It's just been
cloudy, so it's just been sleepy and comfy. Like this is like my season.
Yeah.
This is where I thrive. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah. Besides not feeling well, I don't mind this season.
Yeah. I'm like super stoked. Like the weather is perfect. It was like -7 last night.
Good
Paul Martin, our news
weather.
director, was very adamant that is very cold. And I was like, no, it's
not that cold.
Yeah, and I slept with like the window open just like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, the big duvet. Like it was just...
Jeanette sleeps with the window open, so... I just find it hard then to get out of bed in the morning because I'm cold. I'm so cozy in bed. I don't want to get out.
You get like a house coat.
Yeah, I don't have one of those.
You get a big fluffy house coat.
Oh, okay.
So when you get out of bed,
I need
put
that.
the big fluffy house coat on and then slippers.
Yeah, I do need slippers for sure.
Sleep country.
$500.
Well, we are because I think they gave away.
They gave it away. We just gave away $250.
Yeah, for each station.
Yeah. Crazy. Go
so Sleep Country, if you
if you want to sponsor a podcast. Yeah, but we're in that I feel like we're in that holiday push. Like this is our last November episode. Next week our episode comes out December 1st, Friday, December 1st. So it's like we're here, we're in that holiday hustle.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me. So here we go.
It's crazy. I'm like completely unprepared and I also just don't care. There's like a bunch of everyone's like, oh my God, I have to get all the Christmas shopping done. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do the things. I'm going to hang with my kids, gonna make some freaking cookies, and that's it. Because normally I'm like a stress case over all of the things.
Yeah. I do kind of like it. My family doesn't really do gifts anymore. We'll usually do like a white elephant or whatever. But it really takes the pressure off of, I don't buy anyone gifts really.
No.
I have to buy like 3 gifts and it's so nice.
I just do it for my kids.
Yeah. It's great. So, and we don't even do Christmas on Christmas anymore. It's all about having dinner together and that's really it. And I think my brother's working Christmas Day or Boxing. I don't know. So I don't know when we're doing Christmas, but yeah, I have zero stress, which feels kind of rude, but
not really. Chill. I do like 5 like major gifts. I'm like something they want, something they need, something to wear, something to read, and then something from Santa.
Oh, that's a good.
Because then it's like, you know what? That's what it is. And it's like, I'm not going ham. Yeah. I'm not doing the whole like your living room is filled with shit because they're not going to use it after. Like it seems ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's just a lot.
It's a lot. No, the holidays are a lot, but I think I'm as ready as I can be.
Honestly, I'm just gonna take the time to spend with my family.
We're doing something big though that we haven't done in. It'll be like 80 something episodes. We are taking 2 weeks off around the holidays, so there'll be no episodes
for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. So the last week of December and the first week of January, we're not having any episodes, which last year we did, but we have gone. I think we've missed 1 week. We missed one because we didn't air Dr. Maria Coward's episode right away because we were both sick that week.
Right.
But otherwise, we have hit every week, and
I'm tired.
We're tired, and we kind of have to.
We want to rethink.
We have to just things. Like plan some things out for the new year and everything. So we're taking 2 weeks off of podcasting, but we're still here. But like it's the holidays, so really, it's not a huge deal.
I don't think anyone's gonna care.
No, we're not that important. But so because I've been telling you, but I have been obsessed. I think I've talked about it a bit before. I'm obsessed with Below Deck.
I'm so happy that you brought this up.
I love Below Deck. I love them all. In another life, I would love to be a decky, and be a deckhand on a super yacht, preferably a sailboat. And I have watched a Below Deck a lot, but now there's Below Deck Sailing Yacht. And the last 3 seasons, the season 2 to 4 are insane. And there's this guy Gary, and he thinks every woman wants him. And then this final season, this girl Mads
is he hot?
He's I think
conventionally hot.
Yeah, he has long hair. He has that I don't give a crap energy.
Oh, like the bad boy.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah. No, I would definitely be all over that. And he's
just playing girls. Yeah, I totally get the charm. But in the last season, this girl Mads is I thought we were just having fun, and he keeps being so what's happening here? And she's we're just having fun. And then at the end, he says they do just
the diaries.
Yeah, that he was I just wish she told me from the beginning she didn't want anything. And then the producer's what if I told you she has told you from the beginning? And then they play a montage of her just being no, this isn't serious. Or no, I don't. We're just having fun. And it was so great. But yeah, so during my sick period this week, I did finish Below Deck Sailing Yacht, and now I don't know what to do with my life. So
Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Apparently Winter House too. I love reality.
Well, there's Summer House now too.
Oh.
There's Summer House, there's Winter House, there's a whole bunch of them. Okay, so Sam Foley is a huge, all the Bravo shows.
They're so
loves
good.
them. My best friend Olivia adores Below Deck.
It's so good.
I feel like we need to have an episode where we just have people on to talk about reality shows.
Yeah, let's do that, because I can't, especially as someone who enjoys boating, I'm this is great.
I will start, let's start watching, I'll start watching Below Deck, and we can have we'll have
a thing. I need you just to watch season 4, because no, you have to watch season 2.
I have to watch all of it.
You have to watch all of it. You don't have to watch season 1, because honestly, no one from season 1 comes to season 2 to 4.
Really? They have a whole new cast for season 2?
Yeah, normally it is a whole new cast, but I think because Gary, Daisy, and Colin were just
always there.
All like such a mix. They kept them in for 3 seasons. I haven't seen another Below Deck where they keep 3 casts that long.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they all start hooking up with each other, and it's a love triangle. It's so good. But Colin is sailing a catamaran.
He's the hot boy.
He's so hot. He is. He's a Kiwi, and he's so hot.
He makes, yeah. No.
But I think also he has redone this catamaran that was destroyed in a hurricane, and now he's sailing it around the world. And so I've decided that by the time I'm 35, I'm taking a month off and I'm doing a long sailing trip.
I think that is...
So I have to get a lot better at sailing in like 7 years.
Take your dad.
He's not coming with me on the trip. Jeanette will come with me, but he can teach me how to
do the things.
Because if you didn't know, John is like, you know. But
I know.
John, my father, bald man number 1, is an avid sailor, and he actually sailed in like the worlds in the kind of boat they were sailing.
That's crazy.
And they were all like in their 40s. And when he sailed, they had to make weight. Like that's how serious it was. Their boat had to make weight.
Like you had to be...
They all had to weigh under... The boat had to have a certain weight capacity on it.
Well, yeah, because if it's heavier, you could probably go...
I don't really know. Maybe you go faster. But so all of his whole boat, most of them would just like put on sweatsuits and sit in a sauna in the morning before weigh-in, so they sweat out all their water weight. And other boats would have like a bunch of lean men, and then they could have another like small woman on their boat. So they could have, but they were like, yeah, there's no way we're all gonna weigh that much. So John's a pretty serious sailor.
That's really cute.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like another lifetime, you know. So anyways, that's my sailing saga right now and Below Deck saga. Thank you for listening.
I'm really, really into it.
Do you have anything before we introduce this episode?
No.
This episode,
Tasha,
is a re-record because I lost the audio from the first one. She was great. Came back in.
On the screen right now.
Yeah.
It says CHCQ and it has like all like the commercials.
Yeah.
Financial.
That's not how you spell that, right?
No. There's no T in financial.
Really? Oh, yeah, there's not. That's funny.
Anyhow, and mattresses, Mart?
Who knows, man?
What is going on?
I don't know. It's more about the number than the words. No, so we have Tasha from Fearless Tales Dog Training. She is my dog trainer. Mm-hmm. And when we first recorded, I wasn't training with her yet. So it's kind of fun that we got to interview her again after I've trained with her. She's a joy.
She brought her dog.
She brought her dog, Logan.
He just sat like right below, like at my feet and just like let me pet him.
And kept looking out the window. He's so cute.
Yeah. So I have photos of him looking out the window. And I got to pet a dog for a whole hour and it was pretty freaking great.
Yeah. So we'll just let you listen.
Yeah, enjoy.
Today we have a Quinte transplant originally from Toronto but left the big city for a slower paced life in Bloomfield and Napanee. She has gone through a couple rounds of post-secondary. First time around she worked through sociology and linguistics and then went back for adult education. In a lovely turn of events, she ended up pursuing dog training. Tasha Shaw-Verbic is the owner and dog trainer at Fearless Tales. She is a Karen Pryor Academy certified training partner, certified separation anxiety professional, and a certified family dog mediator. She uses Humane Training, offering programs for anxiety, nervousness, and reactive dogs with the goal of helping dog parents transform challenges with their dog's behavior in something they can be proud of. Babes of Quinte, please welcome Tasha Shaw-Verbic, the owner and lead dog trainer at Fearless Tales.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Good.
You are back again.
I am back again. May the technology fairies bless us.
Yeah, that was fully my fault. I realized.
It happens.
When I was looking, I was like, because we had a lot of interviews in that span. And I remember after your interview, I had to go for a lunch meeting. Clearly, I didn't save properly. And then I came in and I was like, I can't find it. And it was like my boss and then the morning show on air. My boss is just sitting where you are and he's going, did you search by date? He's like, search by Wednesdays. I was like, you're literally not helping. I don't know why you're talking.
Is your computer on?
Did you turn it off and turn it back on? I'm like, is that going to recover the file?
No.
Great. Love that. So that's where we're at.
We have Logan here today too.
We do.
Logan?
There's a puppy in the studio.
We didn't have him last time.
No.
What kind of dog is he?
He's a soft-coated Irish Wheaten Terrier, and it's his birthday next Tuesday.
Oh,
How old will you be, Logan?
6.
6.
So we've discussed that he is now to age backwards.
okay.
Yeah,
He's supposed to age in reverse.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
committed to that yet, but we're working on it.
I
so
look
cute.
at my
We're working
dogs
on it.
all the time, and I'm like, you can't die.
Just age backwards. Now it's
Yeah.
time to slow down, age backwards.
Do you consider him like a teenager? Is he in his 20s? Where are we at? What
He's
is
an
this?
adult.
You're an adult?
First thing in the morning, he's a cranky old man.
Yeah.
I mean, same.
Yes.
Yeah, right? We're all cranky old men in the morning.
I wouldn't say he's cranky. He's just like, sleep.
Is he a sleeper inner?
Yeah.
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 So he'll get up,
just
he'll
like
go
a
pee, and then
slow-
he'll turn around and go right back to bed.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a slow wake up.
Yeah, slow
Same.
wake up. Unless something else is barking or unless a squirrel drops from the sky. Then otherwise he's like, I'll just be cozy. Come get me when you're ready.
I mean, I have those vibes too. I think we'd be friends.
Yeah.
He's good.
Logan and I would be like,
Sleepy.
if
Wait.
my dogs weren't
Aw,
dicks.
babes.
But very important question. What is your favorite potato chip?
I think mostly plain.
Get out.
I'm like, am I judging you?
Did I
love
give
that.
that same answer last time? Has it changed?
I feel like you did give that answer.
I recently tried some other flavors.
Okay,
Go.
where?
So I recently
Wait,
tried
I know
the
like
Weekender.
Doritos are a no-go for you, right?
Get out. Don't talk to me. They just, I have a story. Anyway, the ones that I've tried recently or in the summer that I liked was the Weekender chips.
Yeah, that you
Covered
did
Bridge,
tell
the
us
Weekender
about
chips.
those.
Those are good. And in September, which I think is after I saw you guys last.
Yeah.
In September, one of my friends brought these chips from Picard's,
Okay.
which is the peanut place.
Yeah.
And I think they're called beer-basted potato chips. And I don't like beer. They're delicious.
Okay.
Damn.
They're delicious. But yes, Doritos.
Bad.
Why don't we like Doritos?
I feel like you were hungover.
I was not hungover. I was
Oh.
motion sick. So I've never ever loved the smell of Doritos. Like they just smell like
Feet.
No deliciousness.
I mean, I like the smell
Fake
of
cheese.
Doritos.
no, not even. And just make cheese smells good. Doritos are a next level gross. And we were on a boat, and I was really, really sick. But they were serving lunch, and so mixed with the smell of diesel, the fact that I had just lost my soul out of my stomach, and someone opened a bag of Doritos,
Nope.
and that was it. I done forever and ever and ever and
Yeah.
ever. So when friends come over, they joke about how they're going to bring Doritos and sit just like downwind from me.
No.
So I get they're so
Rude
gross.
friends.
They're gross.
I do love like a chip that I have to lick like a full coating off of my fingers after.
Yeah.
Like a Cheeto. I know it's not a chip, but like you
Cheetos are
fully
good.
have like a Cheeto on your finger after.
Cheetos
Yeah.
are good. Do you use chopsticks?
Yeah.
No, but I should.
Chopsticks, yeah.
Yeah, because then you don't get the dust on your
But
fingers.
then
Yeah.
what? Then I don't get to eat my extra.
Okay, but if
Cheeto
you're doing-
fingers. just licking them.
You're so disgusting. I love it.
It's the
Oh, I'm here for it
snack.
though. I love it. Oh,
he's
we
just
were
for
just.
you.
I was just petting.
He's having 11. As long
He
as
put
he's been
his head on my like lap,
Yes.
and I'm just petting the dog. I feel like I need this so bad.
Dog
Good.
therapy.
He's
We
good.
love it.
He's good. He does a nice lean.
Yeah. No, we're bonding.
Annie has a beard, which makes
But I
it
do
better.
still. Yes, he's got a beard. His hair gets brushed more than mine.
Just
not a
it's
lie.
the beard.
Like just his
So
beard
cute.
or all of his hair.
Certainly his beard gets brushed more than mine. That's like, I think it's only been cut twice in his life.
His
it's like a
beard?
good, yeah. It's the full.
Is that like very Wheaten Terrier for them to have a beard?
Yes, the breed standard. And it's not because I want to stay conformed to the breed. It's just I like the beard. But the breed standard, when you see them, has like the long beard in the fall.
beard.
It's so cute. He's like a little emo kid with
Yeah,
a beard.
the bangs.
The bang, like the side swept
He'll have to be in the
He's so
photo too,
cute.
so people know what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
I'll send you a new photo. It's very sweet.
You grew up in Toronto?
I grew up in Toronto.
How was that?
It was great.
Were you like right in
It
the
was
city
great.
or
It was
like
then.
on the outside?
City.
Oh, okay.
When I was in grade school, it was at University in Dundas.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
In the city.
Yeah.
And then more towards the east end of the city,
Okay.
like the original East York. Do you know, ever heard of Taste of the Danforth?
Yes.
So like, I used to live above a souvlaki restaurant.
Oh wow.
Amazing.
I was in my 20s, which was fun. I didn't eat a whole lot of souvlaki after that though, because
No, you
Just
can't.
constantly
no.
smelt it. It's like the Doritos.
That's how I feel about shawarma
Oh, okay.
or
A
street
lot of
meat.
it. Yeah, just eating a lot of it. Then
Yeah.
there's a little
So
hiatus.
much of it. I'll still eat street meat though.
Once in a while.
Oh, like-
souvlaki once in a while.
There's a time and place.
Yeah. So I lived there, and then we actually moved out to Burlington for a little bit. Now I'm fully an adult by the time we did that. And then back to Mississauga, and we got our spot out in Napanee. Mm-hmm. And I made friends with Carol of the Sniffery.
Yes.
And yeah.
That's how you got where you are now.
Yeah.
And where did you do all your post-secondary?
I did my first bout of post-secondary at York University.
Ah. I went there for like a month. I also didn't like it.
I did it part-time, so I was working full-time, and I did that part-time.
Where were you working full-time?
This is a long time ago now, you guys. I was working...
Unsure.
I know at one part of it I was working at an executive recruiting firm.
I don't even know what that means.
Like you did that
Like a
before
headhunter
you
firm.
went to school?
Okay, so what?
Why did you go to school then?
Because that's
What are we
did.
Yeah.
Right? People, talent,
How?
executives. So there are headhunters who look for people to fill jobs that their clients,
Like
companies,
CEOs and
have
stuff.
hired them to, or like account agencies or like
See, that just
anything.
seems like, because I get them on LinkedIn a lot,
yeah.
where I'll get
Right.
like
Like there
people
are
sliding.
firms that
Yeah.
just do that.
Yeah. My uncle's a headhunter.
Not just firms. There's like see.
Or my godfather. I'm not
I was gonna say, I'm like,
I
your
don't know why I don't know why we haven't changed the wording of headhunter.
Yeah,
but
it's
that's what
very
they do.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they slide into my DMs on
recruiters, I call
LinkedIn
them
all the time.
recruiters.
They're all recruiters. They're
Yeah.
like, we're looking for this kind of talent. Are you taking freelance? I'm like, no.
I get text DMs. And I was like, no, I'm not interested. Thank you. Please remove me from your...
Whatever database
Whatever.
we found.
Yeah.
It's a job where you only need to work nights.
Oh.
No, I'm really not interested. Could you please take me
Never,
off your
never.
list?
Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
So I
was
worked
like,
there and maybe another place. And then I went to U of T at Scarborough because I could get residence there.
Nice.
Nice.
And that was a lot of fun because residence was actually like a house with 4 bedrooms and 2 floors.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
it was
Oh.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I did that. I did sociology and linguistics there, but I was also working full time, and it wasn't really for
That
me.
seems like a lot, like school and work.
Yeah, but there, I mean, people do it, especially I think
I'm-
more often now. People go to
Definitely doing it.
work full time and go to school in the evening or back and forth. Right?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
It's hard.
Yes. It's not. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
That's why you're tired.
Yeah.
Among other
time.
things.
All
Right?
the time.
Bugs, what you doing, Mom?
Just sitting, washing the door.
I look in.
He's like, don't worry, guys. I got the
I
door.
got the door. And then, so then I left and just continued working full time.
Did you finish that degree?
No.
Nice.
No. Nice. I mean, this is the only environment where somebody says that. That's cool.
Nice.
I just
it
don't
was
feel
nice.
like I'm like, no,
No, I
but
didn't.
what are you going to do?
Like, I
with
talked to
it?
my parents, I talked to my mom, talked to my family, and I was paying for my own school
Yeah.
and said, I don't know if I really want to do this. Like, it doesn't feel like it's something I really love. And she's like, so don't. Just work. Okay. So I did that for a bit, and then I'd wanted to be a teacher originally when I was in high school. And then I looked around at kids and was like, no. So I started
I feel
working
that.
full-time.
All of my teachers were like, you should be a teacher. And I was like, I don't like myself or everyone around me. So, no.
No. And then I sort of fell into adult education and adult training, like corporate training. So I decided to go back to school to see if I would like that. And I did. So I did that, finished that.
Where did you take that?
I started at Centennial, and then they had like kind of a bridge to go to Brock University.
Oh, okay.
There was Queen's University or Brock University. I needed to stay near Toronto. And a lot of it was virtual. And then you had to come in and do like your live stuff. So I did that, and then continued doing corporate education at the same time as training people's dogs part-time. And then during COVID, I was like, I'm really busy with this dog training thing. And started thinking about maybe it's time to do it full-time before I get older. I know we talked about this last time. Before I get any older, to see if I actually would like it. And so I gave my 14-year job 6 months notice. And built a team, trained up my team, worked off my vacation, and that's it. That was that.
Wow.
And now I only do dogs and am training adults because it is training people, right? More than the dogs.
That's probably really, really helpful, like your adult education background to this. It's probably like super, like crosses over a lot.
It's super helpful in how I design my training courses for people, so you're welcome to.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, I've attended many Zooms with Tasha, and it's so organized, and like the way, like, her little talking heads in the corner of the presentation, which I love, and there's like some interaction. I don't know. I find it very good for how my brain learns.
Like laying out you go from, and it's the same with any training, like what your goal is. What are maybe 2 or 3 things you need to like impart with that goal? If there's hands-on skills, and there are, so like breaking those up. And you can certainly do them in person. I do them well in person, I believe. But the plus side of COVID and having trained like corporately a lot of virtual things made it so that during COVID, when a lot of dog trainers were like, what do we do?
You were like already set.
Yeah.
You're like, I got this.
I got this. So I developed a whole bunch of programs that were partially virtual before COVID and just pivoted them completely into COVID, which has been super cool because I've been able to have clients that I couldn't meet in person. The client I have that's the furthest away is in Singapore.
Holy crap.
And then I had somebody message me who was on the webinar that you were on this week, and she's in Asia somewhere. I can't remember.
Well, even in that webinar, there was people from like the UK, Australia. Like, there's people from all over the States.
New Zealand. Yeah, that's very cool. So in a lot of my programs, there's people from like all over. And I think more and more, especially with COVID, people have realized that you can impart valuable information if you're good at doing it. And the same with dog training, right? So if we're having a lesson because it's dark or it's rainy, or some dogs just do better without the distraction of another person. Like, you have dogs that are nervous of people. If I show up at your house, your dog's like,
who is that?
Who is this? And they can't learn because they're worried, right? About the person that's there. They're distracted. And so to be able to say, hold this in your right hand and just really break it down so it's not overwhelming, hopefully.
No, I haven't been overwhelmed at all.
Good. So that's come in handy. Just from all the way from like the instructional design to just being able to talk. On Tuesday night, I had talked for 3 hours straight. So by the time I finished, or it was getting close to finish, like my tongue, you probably noticed, was not cooperating.
Like, we're
my
done.
tongue as a muscle could not keep up with what my brain wanted it to do. But yeah, it's really helpful, and just looping into people, because it is the people that they bring their dogs, but it ends up being about the people.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, though.
Yeah.
Life can be messy, and dealing with chronic pain, pelvic discomfort, muscle weakness, or mental illness can take a toll. Sometimes it takes a team effort to not just survive, but thrive.
At Diamond Physiotherapy, their approach is all about education. They're constantly expanding their knowledge and skills to ensure their clients receive solutions that provide them with more than just temporary relief.
Recognizing the significance of treating the whole person for overall wellness, Diamond Physiotherapy offers a wide range of services. These include physiotherapy, pelvic health physiotherapy, vestibular rehabilitation, pediatric physiotherapy, psychotherapy, and pre- and postnatal treatment.
They're not just about generic treatments. They're about creating an individualized treatment plan that works for you. With their knowledge, skills, and resources, they'll be by your side every step of the way, helping you become your best self.
Take the first step in your physical and mental wellness and reach out to Diamond Physiotherapy at 55 South Pinnacle Street in Belleville and at diamondphysio.ca. Our favorite networking event is coming back on May 31st, 2024. Jenny, the founder of Simple Desk in Trenton, created the Brazen event to empower women in business to be authentic and unapologetically themselves.
Get ready for a bigger and bolder Brazen 2024, the full-day experiential event created by women for women, showcasing, inspiring, and connecting female entrepreneurs and working professionals from all around the Bay of Quinte.
It's a full day of networking, support, delicious food, giveaways, vendor booths, and an inspiring panel of female entrepreneurs sharing their stories.
Tickets are on sale now. To learn more about Brazen 2024 and to buy your tickets before they sell out, visit simpledesk.ca/brazen and make sure to follow Brazen on Instagram at brazen_women.
We'll be there, so we hope to see you there too. On average, 10 to 20% of people experience some sort of dental anxiety or fear. The fear can range from uneasiness to severe phobia, preventing people from seeking necessary dental care and treatments.
The Family Dental Center understands and is here to help. Their compassionate team is dedicated to making your dental experience less daunting.
FDC offers 2 forms of sedation to ease your worries: nitrous oxide, aka laughing gas, and oral conscious sedation.
Nitrous oxide is perfect if you're feeling slightly anxious and need to relax. Oral conscious sedation is the next level of sedation. Administered through a tablet, it effectively eliminates anxiety before dental treatment. It requires a babe to drive you to and from your appointment.
That's not all. To make you more comfortable and reduce restlessness, FDC also has weighted cozy blankets.
For more information on how Family Dental Center can help reduce dental anxiety, visit FamilyDentalCenter.com or call the Belleville, Frankfurt, or Coburg office. How did you get in, how did you end up here? What? Because you had a dog. Last time you told us about this little white dog.
Little white dog.
Please tell us about that dog.
That I got him. My brother actually got him and then ended up living in an apartment that didn't allow dogs.
Even little tiny white one.
Even little tiny
Weird.
Satan spawn. He was adorable. He was amazing. His name was Shakes. He was 15 pounds. He was white and fluffy and just brilliant. But rampaging brilliant. So if he wasn't kept busy, he would just, even if he was kept busy, honestly, he would just find his own entertainment.
Yeah.
And so we had child locks in our cupboards. We had
Oh my God.
when we
I have that
redesigned the
right
kitchen.
now.
We redesigned a kitchen.
What? Which one?
Frank, he'll get into anything.
Yeah.
For a while, it was just wooden spoons.
Yeah, through your things. We designed a kitchen with knobs that my husband hated, but it was so that Shakes couldn't paw open the thing. But I guess he observed us at some point where you had to push in the cabinet to make the door pop out. And we found him asleep one day in front of these 8-foot little pantry doors because we're that must have been an accident. I must not have closed it. And then a day later, we're sitting there watching TV and he's like, "Hi." Walks up to the cabinet, stops, bam, and it popped it open. And we were like, okay, so I took those latches out.
Oh my God.
Handles back on.
That's
he couldn't
hilarious.
reach those handles, so I maybe should have known better. But he had separation anxiety when I got him, and he was just kind of crazy. And I was like, I need to understand how I'm going to survive this. I need to understand how this dog thinks.
Was he a rescue?
No.
Oh.
No, he was just
An anxious bean.
Yeah.
He was anxious when he was a puppy, and then he outgrew it, and I think it was literally just, I can solve this, so I will. And so I got referred to a bunch of trainers that didn't jive with me in their methods at all. And then I ended up finding a trainer at, I think it's called Who's Walking Who? And they were awesome, right? And so I just started learning and learning and learning and learning and learning. And here I am. I didn't grow up with dogs, though, so he was my first dog as an adult.
I feel like that's a lot.
Is this what all dogs are like?
Yeah, I knew that's not what all dogs were like because I was talking to my friends who had dogs, and they were like,
What? So I guess he
What?
would just open things, but was he reactive to other dogs?
he
and
didn't
stuff?
care about other dogs.
Okay, that's good.
He was super easy to groom. I could flip him over and shave his belly and do his nails, but he was just always on all the time.
Oh my God.
He was a border collie in a 15-pound package.
Yeah.
But he was brilliant. He was so, so smart. I was eating edamame one day, and he was staring at me because he was also obsessed with food. And so I gave it to him, a whole one. And he took it, and he sat down, and he put it between his paws and went, he just took out the little beans and left the pot. And I was like,
That's scary.
Is that
dog
a fluke?
things.
Here's
Yeah.
another
Oh my gosh.
he would just
Just
chew
a
them
tiny
out.
little genius.
Yeah,
It
he was a
sounds
little
not
genius.
true because that's
I have a video.
wild.
I have a video. I'll post it one day.
Yeah, please
I would
do.
love to
So
see
the
that.
next, when he
adorable.
passed away at 14.
Oh, R.I.P.
And when we were talking about what the next dog would be, I wanted a dog that had less food motivation, who had some sense of self-preservation, because Shakes had none. None.
It sounds like that's Jack Russell energy to me. They're like, I'll live through anything.
We lost him one day. My roommate and I lost him one day in our own apartment on top of the souvlaki house. And we looked everywhere, everywhere. Jamie actually lives in Belleville.
Hi, Jamie.
My roommate. Hi, Jamie. And he like, yeah, we lost the dog and we couldn't figure out where he was. Okay, maybe he's just hiding in a room and we can't find him, but the apartment was not that big. And Jamie sat down in this green vinyl chair and there was a sound. Shakes had chewed out the lining in the bottom of the chair and crawled up into it and was, I don't know, just having his own party in there.
Amazing.
He was nuts.
Our Jack Russells we used to have did that, like would chew out the underneath of furniture and then just chill under there.
Yes, I'm talking about you. So I wanted a dog that had less food motivation and some sense of self-preservation, and I got this guy, who is not. He'll work for food. He's food drivey in some contexts, but he's not like.
Doesn't he spit it out sometimes?
He will sometimes spit it out. Now, recently, the past year or so, he's been really sick, and he's much, much better.
What's wrong?
But what we think was that there was food that was really upsetting his body. So by the end of the beginning of the spring this year, if you put his meal down, he would run and hide. And he would shake. Like he wanted to eat and he was hungry. We're not saying, hello, can you come here? I know, there's people. Can you come over here, please? Good job, Bob.
His little waggy tail.
Thank
He's
you.
like, okay, Mom.
Thank you, Bob. And he definitely has a high degree of self-preservation to the point of being kind of fearful of other dogs when he's out and about. Like when he's at work with me, with puppies and other dogs, he's fine. But like other dogs in the street that are like marching towards him, he's like, I don't know.
I don't vibe with that.
I don't. Give me my space.
I feel like me and your dog have a lot in common.
He likes social distancing. There's a shirt that I've seen by Wolf Culture. If you haven't ever seen their stuff, I think you'd like it. But it says reactive dogs social distancing before it was cool.
Same.
Literally.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how all that started.
Small white dogs.
Little small white
Start
dog.
it all.
Small white dog. He was a sweetheart.
Your training, though, is different.
Is it?
Well, it's not different, but I think people don't
like it
necessarily
better.
know about it.
Okay.
It took me researching trainers and figuring out that force-free training was a thing. Because I think a lot of the time you just, as someone who has dogs, it's like put a shock collar on them, like show dominance, like all this stuff, which I don't vibe with. So can you tell us about force-free dog training?
And I think you found me through Quinte Canine, right? So I want to give a shout out
Yeah,
to
and
Yvonne
Kira.
And Kira.
Yes.
Kira's awesome.
Love
Loves Kira.
I listened to that episode. Both of them. She's been on twice, right?
Once.
With her sister.
With her
Yeah.
sister, yeah. Insanity.
So I didn't know you then. And I knew that I was coming on.
Oh, no.
And Squeaky goes, listen to a couple episodes. So I listened to his.
Yeah.
And then
Because
I
you trained their
listened-
dog too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I listened to, and then I listened to that one, and I was like, "What? Why are we hypnotizing chickens? I don't understand."
No one understands.
And there was a lot of laughter, so it was very cool. But I was like, I don't know what's happening.
we never know what's
It's okay.
happening.
We didn't know what was happening that day either.
She
was
put it in her
hilarious.
form. I was like, okay, we're talking
Yeah.
about it.
I did ask her about that later. I'm like, if you can hypnotize chickens, you can certainly train your dog.
Yeah. I don't know. Chickens are weird.
So I think what we kind of talked about last time was there was I'm going to call it traditional. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it conventional. I should call it traditional. There was a way in which we interacted with animals. We still do.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
That's
people still do.
happening.
We still do. So there was a way in which most of us were taught to interact with animals, and we did it with zoo animals, and we did it with sanctuary animals, and so of course you're going to do it with your domestic pets because that's what we knew at the time. But if we think about like how things evolved, let's say even in like with circus animals, where a lot of countries ban animals in circuses,
Yeah.
and a lot of people readily accept that treating animals in a certain way to get them to do what you want is unethical. Mm-hmm. And that if there is a better way, then maybe we could do that instead. Mm-hmm. And I think that like that movement has had great success, but for whatever reason, it hasn't trickled down as, I mean, it is much more popular now than it would be, say, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Just certainly looking at like from when I had Shakes to now, it was really hard to find a force-free trainer then. It's not as hard now depending on where you live.
Yeah, I still feel like there's not
In
a
the
lot
city,
of them.
it's more popular. Out here, it's not. And so combining that with the fact that there have been more modern science studies, and we like to, at least I like, science evolves, right? So there's more modern studies where the dominance theory has been debunked because it was based on wolves from different social groups in captivity with limited resources.
It's weird.
Did they eat each other?
Well, they fought.
Yeah.
And so because they fought, the one that would win, or the ones that would win, were considered the alpha. Mm-hmm. And so somehow conveniently I'm glossing over lots of things, right? But we conveniently decided that's how it must work for dogs.
I feel like a man decided this.
Definitely a white man.
But the same man has requested that his study be unpublished.
Oh, I love that. Okay, you know what?
Like, it was wrong.
Yeah.
I kind of, I respect him a little bit more now.
He's retracted that. Like, he was, and a long time ago. Like, not in the last 5 years. Like, we're talking like 10, 15.
Oh, okay.
Okay, like a self-aware man.
He was like, it was based on a faulty study.
Yeah.
Right? So if you take wild animals and you put them in captivity and you limit their resources and their space, which is also a resource, you're going to have conflict.
Yeah.
Even with people.
Have you watched Big Brother? like
City living.
Yeah, like
watch Big Brother or
Grocery
Survivor.
stores, right? It's what happened. So people decided that dogs are like wolves. So the family must be the pack. So you should be dominant so that you're the alpha.
Okay.
People are not dogs. Dogs
No.
are not people. We form social groups, but we're also not packs. And then more like current study, modern study, is that the alphas in a group are actually the mating pair.
That makes sense.
So, and that can evolve, right? Like,
So it can change.
It can change if their numbers are, like, if they feel like their number, like their population is low. Sometimes multiple pairs in a pack will mate.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
So I do enjoy telling people that I can assure them that their dog is not trying to mate with them. So you don't need to do that.
you're good.
You're good.
Don't need
What
to.
if they're trying to hunt me? I promise they know you're not a dog. They're not trying to have you bear their children. So
That would be.
there's been a lot of evolution in the science, and then just as human beings, that we know that we can do better. Like, if we can, we can do better. So some of it, I think, is, well, of course you wouldn't treat a lion that way because it's going to rip your head off. But if you can train dolphins and train animals without using prongs and prods and whips and, who knows what else, then surely we can do it with our dogs. And so some of that is just, I think, again, evolution over time. And some people will come along with that, and some people won't.
In my mind, traditional, is that what we were calling it? Conventional training, traditional training? It has
So the term, I think, is aversive training.
aversive training.
So aversive training being anything that causes physical or emotional, mental discomfort. And I like to use the word discomfort because people will often say, well, it didn't hurt, so it's fine. But while I acknowledge that we are not dogs, right? So we can't necessarily know exactly what's happening because we're not dogs, and we're not a specific dog or that specific dog. But I think it's safe to infer that from our own lived experience, that things don't have to physically hurt to be aversive,
Yeah.
right? And so
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Because I think you said last time, too, if you yell at a dog or shock a dog or whatever you're going to do, it's going to stop because it's scared. It's not stopping because it knows what to do in replacement of that.
unless you've trained that.
Yeah.
So the people will use an e-collar or use some other type of aversive, and the behavior stops. But the behavior stops because the dog finds that aversive enough to stop what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use Daisy as an example. Mm-hmm. Would be, we're walking along. She was pulling. We were on that street where she was a little bit freaked out. You could have, not that you would, but one could have cranked her back right? And delivered a correction by her collar, which, okay, well, if I'm being pulled back, then I'm going to stop. Or if the tension's uncomfortable, right, then she might stop. Or we could have just taught her a turn cue so that when Katie says turn, she goes, okay, and turns around. Are you enjoying the view? Logan's perched up on his back legs looking at me.
He's like, there's stuff out there. Where are the squirrels?
Cars.
Cars.
Oh.
Or for him, and this has taken years, like he is 6 years old, so some of the things I talk about that I've taught him, that some of them are a bit rusty because you don't maintain them, but he likes to hunt squirrels and is quite energetic about it. But the other day we were walking along and a squirrel popped, and it's not always going to be successful, but a squirrel popped out of nowhere, as they do.
Yeah.
They do that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And we have spent a lot of time with, if you see a squirrel, look at me. Which is not the same as saying, don't look at the squirrel, look at me. Like, if you see a squirrel, check in. And I was super proud because I didn't think, we hadn't worked on it in a long time. Squirrel pops out of nowhere, he's walking along, he looks at me and then goes, okay, and we went the other way. Right, so you can teach them alternative behavior without...
Yeah.
You just have to be like consistent, right? Like,
one of the things is consistency.
Yeah.
For sure.
because I feel like for not myself, I don't have a dog, but I feel like generally speaking, when things don't happen within a certain time frame, people get frustrated or discouraged.
Yes.
And then they're just kind of like, oh, well, this doesn't work.
Yes.
But it's like, did I learn how to do something within, 2 weeks? No. Did, like, when you're teaching your kid to read, or when you're teaching anybody any new skills or ways to deal with mental health issues, like, it's like these things don't just happen overnight. Like,
They
sometimes
don't happen overnight.
it takes time and work.
But even when you have learned something new, even if it's just a new habit, so you know that eating dinner on time makes your evening go smoother.
Do I still do it?
Do you still do it?
No.
Or one of my favorite examples to use, and I think I said this the other day, let's say you're watching television.
Yeah.
And somebody goes, dinner's ready, or can you go do something? How often do we leap to action?
Literally never.
Right? So you're processing your own thoughts. You're engaged in something else. You're doing whatever it is you're doing. Maybe you're having a good time. But your brain is literally engaged in something else. And maybe you're processing the information, deciding something, whatever it is. We generally accept that humans do this. If your dog does something, like, give them a chance to think about it. Give them a chance to, and they're not robots. Right? They are I think we can all agree that they're sentient beings, right? They have their own thoughts.
Absolutely.
Their own.
You can see it sometimes, just like ruminating, and I'm just kind of like, I see what's going to happen.
And so a lot of times in training, somebody will ask their dog to do something, and it doesn't comply within like 3 seconds, and they start repeating themselves, and I just let them think it through.
Well, you...
With me.
So, Daisy, I have 2 rescue dogs. I think, I was just going to say 2. There's this thing when you get a dog and you've seen dogs on TV and you see some people who have very just well-trained dogs. They had them since puppies maybe. And that's the dream when you get a dog. You're like, I'm going to have this dog. We're going to do everything together. We're going to go on runs. They're going to be so sociable. We're going to have dog friends. No. That doesn't always happen. I don't know there's probably a percentage, but I feel like that dream is crushed quickly for a lot of people when you actually both I choose to adopt dogs, and both of my dogs are very reactive in different ways. I learned from you. Yeah. One is excited reactive because she just gets so excited about what's happening and she wants to be a part of it. And then Frank is scared reactive because he had a traumatic past, we assume, so he is a little bitey about things. And when you first met Daisy, I think, my dog likes to bark the whole car ride. Literally, Tasha could hear Daisy.
I could hear her coming down.
So I'm in the car.
From inside my space.
Yeah. You can hear me coming with her. It's wild. Because she just barks excessively. We have to
so excited.
She sees, right? She sees things, and she's just...
Let's go.
Yeah.
Overstimulated.
She's like, we're doing it.
But now
Tasha taught me to crate her in the car, and I think within 5 sessions I had her crated in the car.
And she doesn't bark?
She barks for a little bit, but she settles faster because like she can't see everything.
The purpose of the crate was not containment, but to basically dampen the stimulation.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So
just
she's
overstimulated.
in there, she's like, okay, and you have a nice leggy on top of it. Yeah. And she barks because she's excited to go in the car, right? And that's not a problem.
No, she's like, we're going somewhere. I'm going to see things. It's going to be so exciting.
But then she also doesn't arrive. She doesn't arrive like wigged, like frantic. Yeah. Right? I mean, she's still excited.
She's very excited.
But she's not like up here for the however 45 minutes long it takes you to get somewhere.
100. She can tone it down to like a 40.
But
Were you on Monday? Were you on?
Yeah, I was on Monday.
So I talked about on Monday how for most of us, you grew up watching TV and movies and like these amazing, like they're amazing dogs because they're in movies. So there's a certain amount of training and talent and things involved in that, and commercials and whatever. And it's the utopian dog for 2 hours or for the 30 seconds of the ad. Right?
Yeah, because they don't.
But it's always like the perfect dog that loves everybody, that goes everywhere, that can settle everywhere, that's just always happy, that doesn't do anything. And I think that does give people a false sense of actually social media too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, more and more there's people sharing what real life is like with certain dogs. But one of the ones that always gets me is like dogs running freely in a place they're not supposed to be off leash.
Off leash dogs.
Which is one thing. But even just like for the sake of Instagram, there are people who will edit out the fact that there's a leash for the photo. Yeah. Right. But it just creates like all of these things kind of create an unreal expectation. And then you get this living being.
It's like a child.
That does not align with those things. Yeah. And people feel like their dog needs to be fixed, or they feel like they're doing something wrong.
There's like a lot of shame when you have a reactive dog.
Oh yeah,
and like a lot of stress because I can't go everywhere. I only have certain people that can watch my dogs. So there's just so many things, and you're trying everything to fix it, or quote unquote. But like Frank has come miles, and to some people he still nips occasionally, and he'll mark inside sometimes, and like he'll nip at Daisy, like I don't know what the word is, but he'll turn his aggression, like if he redirects his aggression. So if there's something outside that's annoying him, he'll just turn his aggression to Daisy.
My cat did that.
Yeah.
With my baby.
That was a rough
they're
one.
Just way up here, so they're not necessarily making the same. Like they're just instinctually reacting to things. Right?
Yeah. So my cat, what happened was there was like another cat outside, and she saw the other cat outside. So she like lunged at the window, but then smacked herself obviously against the patio window. So then she was like pissed, and she's like trying to smack this cat that was outside. And I went pee, and I had the baby just like he was just bouncing, doing his thing. And he started crying because the big sound scared him, and I'm like right there, like I can like literally right there. I'm not a bad parent. I'm not neglecting my kid.
I feel like you're allowed to leave them in a room for a second, aren't you?
I had to pee so bad.
Yeah, I feel like that's allowed.
Anyways, so then she directed her aggression towards him. Yeah. So then every single time he cried, it would trigger her, and she would just go apeshit again.
It's hard.
And I tried for a whole year to get her back to to try different things, like to reintegrate them together, but it just didn't work.
Well, I too
sometimes safety has to come first, right?
Well, so when I got Frank, he had bit me multiple times, and he bit my luckily he never bit anyone or any other dog that
unknown to you.
Yeah, which is was it a fear, right? Because as soon as that happens, you're in a whole nother ball game, right? Where everything it's kind of out of your control at that point. But we took him to the vet to just get a behavioral assessment, and he's actually medicated now. He's on anti-anxieties, but the vet had a tough talk with me where it was sometimes reactive dogs, there's no fix, there's no rehabilitation. They're just too far gone, and it's not like I can rehome him to anyone, right?
Yeah.
So she was like, sometimes you like the only option is to put them down. And I was like sobbing I was like, I just wanted to put him on anti-anxieties. I didn't want to kill him. I didn't kill him. He's still alive. Sometimes I want to kill him because he annoys me. But and unfortunately, like, people have to do that.
For some dogs where the person's exhausted all of the options to the degree that they're able to, right? Because everybody's options are going to be a little bit different. And I think that's medication for dogs is highly stigmatized, which is unfortunate. But I'm thinking that the way that it's become less stigmatized for people, hopefully the same will happen for dogs. Behavioral euthanasia is highly stigmatized, right?
But so if you exhaust all your options,
like,
and
what are you supposed to do?
There's sometimes just nothing, and it's probably the dog's probably, I could be wrong, but in distress, like what life are they living? You know,
if they're acting that way, like no being would choose to be at that level of distress.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately, I think there's just a lot of stigma around reactive dogs. As someone who, like, people will look like Daisy's just a barker. So usually she won't bark until another dog. If a dog barks at her, she's gonna bark back.
Yeah.
And small white dogs are our enemy. Because I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call out small dog owners right now. I don't know why when I'm walking, they stop. Instead of just continuing to walk when their dog starts barking, they stop and let their dog stare at as we're just trying to like walk by. And I'm like, could you just keep walking with your dog so it stops barking at me?
But a lot of people do that, right, with their dogs.
I don't understand that though.
No, I'm like, just keep going.
Why?
Just keep walking.
No,
just keep walking.
Because now it's a thing.
Yeah, and unfortunately with my dog, like Daisy, I say to people, like, I'm not willing to take the risk because 9 times out of 10, she's going to win the fight. Even if she doesn't start the fight, she's going to win that damn fight.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the problem. So, like, Frank's muzzled. I think there's stigma around muzzling, but sometimes that's what you have to do.
The stigma around muzzling is absolutely insane to me. Because it's like, why?
Unpopular opinion. I actually think that all dogs should be muzzle trained.
Yeah.
Not because they should all need to walk around wearing muzzles, but if you have a dog that's injured, they can be a danger to themselves or other people if you're trying to help them, so it'd be easier to be able to put a muzzle on. If you are in a vet situation or something, or if you just, there's like as a life skill, right? I think it's good for all dogs to have that as a skill so that if it is needed at some point,
it's not a big deal.
It won't be a new thing, right? As opposed to if a dog gets injured and saying to somebody, my dog is never going to get injured anyway.
That's insane.
Then that when they go to the vet or when they're being dealt with, it's not an additional scary thing, right? So Logan doesn't have to wear his muzzle. He has like a utilitarian one, and he's got a very nice one that I have to kind of show people that they kind of can be pretty.
Oh, that's
right?
nice.
They can be cute. They can be pretty. His is white and gold. It's like a
tuxedo
of
it's a fancy muzzle.
Muzzles. But people use muzzles too for dogs that eat everything off the street.
Yeah.
Right? People use muzzles for dogs that can be a bit mouthy when they play with other dogs.
Yeah.
Right? So they can still play, but not by accident, like, get nippy with another dog, and then the other dog is like, you want to go?
Daisy likes to put, like, other dogs' full snouts in her mouth. Like, not in an aggressive way. She'll just be like, ha.
And there might be a dog that doesn't love that.
No.
So for some dogs, it's a skill. I think it's a good skill for people to have.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of, I may have to cut this out, but so our family friends rescue galagos from Spain. So they're like the Spanish greyhound, and they are not treated well in Spain. Like, people run them till they die.
Pure greyhounds kind of get that too.
Yeah, it's not great. Race dog culture is fucked up.
That's insane.
But so they've rescued 4 now. So they have 1 pass, but so they have 3. And the 2, the female and male, the new ones, they're very like skittish. They've only had them for less than 6 months, like maybe 3 months. They can jump so high. Like, when you rescue these galagos, you have to sign like a thing that you have. Logan, what is out there?
Cars.
Where's the squirrels? But you have to sign a contract saying you have a fenced-in yard and it has to be a certain height. But unfortunately, the one can jump so high. She jumped after a squirrel and then came down and got caught in the fence. And when they were trying to get her out, she was so scared that she bit the owner. And like I've had that where when we were on the farm, if dogs start attacking another dog, Daisy joins in. She's like, okay, we're killing this thing. I got this. And I've been in instances where, you know, it's like 3-on-1 and I'm just like over top of the dog on the ground and like you're getting bit, but they don't realize, or like if they're hurt, they're biting you and you don't get realized.
Was it Daisy that tried to eat Cooper?
Oh, heck yeah.
John told me the story.
Literally, we're at the cottage. This is my mom, dad, brother, and me. My parents have a cat. My dogs don't like cats. So at the cottage, Cooper stays in my parents' room. We're always very good, like very cautious. We're doing the thing. And then all of a sudden, my mom opens the door and she just goes, cat! And we see Cooper and Daisy sitting there. And it's almost like time stood still for a second. Yeah. And then I was like,
freezes.
And my brother was like, I thought for a second everything was going to be fine. And then you took off. I was like, Daisy! And I like, so literally my brother and I ran and we like slid into, she got Cooper, but I grabbed her torso. My brother grabbed her head. And then my dad had the cat in his hand, but Daisy still had him. And then my mom's just reaching over like, lightly smacking Daisy on the chest. I'm like, that's literally doing nothing. But because Daisy will death shake, and because my brother, like that cat is alive because my brother grabbed her head and kept it still. Because otherwise she's like, I'm just saying, no stigma here if you have I tell everyone, they're like, oh, I was at the conference yesterday. This girl was like, oh, I just rescued a dog from like a pit bull from Texas. I was like, oh, how's it? Like, how long has it been? She's like, 5 weeks. I was like, how's it going? She's like, I cried a lot the first 2 weeks. I was like, that happens? Yeah. You'll be okay. I'm like, you can medicate it. That's fine too.
I think because of how we have these preconceptions that all dogs are a certain way, that all dogs like to be touched. Logan loves being pet. But if we're walking down the street and somebody is going to reach for his face, he like ducks away. And people will be like, oh, he's not friendly. Like, no, he just doesn't like being grabbed by the face by strangers. But once he's comfortable with you, you can touch him and do whatever, right?
He was
but
just
I think
giving me kisses.
There's this expectation and sometimes a bit of entitlement for people that a dog is for their
My favorite thing is people are like, no, I'm a dog person. I get dogs. I'm like, you get quote unquote normal dogs. My dog is reactive. So Frank, you can't grab, like most dogs, you could just grab by the collar and pull back. You cannot grab him. You have to grab him you have to like hold his chin up and then he won't do it. But if you grab him, he's leash reactive. So as soon as you grab that collar, he will bite you.
I mean, I feel like we shouldn't be grabbing dogs by the collar.
No.
I don't know.
Me neither,
right?
but
I feel like that's just a little bit crossing a line. I'd be like, what are you? I'm going to kick you.
Or once he had a lemon in his mouth because this dog I've seen him throw up a like full half a lemon because he will eat anything. We should have named him Garbage. A lemon fell. My friends were there. And I was like, don't grab it. I was like, do not touch it. He'll put it down eventually. Don't touch it. But people like want to I don't know what it is, but they're like, no, it's fine. I'll just pick it up.
I'm friendly. I love dogs.
Yeah.
It's
no.
okay.
He put it down and I was like, don't touch it. And my friend touched it and he bit her. And I was like, I told you not to do it. Like, but it's like people's instincts are like, no, they dropped it.
It's
I
just
pick
a
it
dog.
up.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm like,
I'm good.
You
Don't
get
do
bit.
it.
I already told you not to do it.
Don't do it.
But dogs love me. I don't care.
No. What is the process of people coming to work with you? Like you just did Zoom classes, which were great.
Yeah. So we just wrapped up Monday and Tuesday. Like I do it only maybe once or twice a year. And it's free. It was a 3-day one, but that's a lot. So this year I cut it down to 2. So one way would be to come to those so you can kind of get a sense for the approach that I take and what it's like to listen to me talk and talk and talk.
I like
You're
it.
very like soothing.
It is.
And if you don't catch one of those, I do free discovery calls on my, you can book them off my website or off of Instagram, I think, as well. And they're not intended to solve a particular problem, but chat about the challenge, what your options might be, what my approach is, and then you can decide if somebody wants to go forward. So that's kind of the best way to get in touch.
The first time we recorded, I had not trained with you yet. I was getting there.
Tell me about that.
And now I have trained with you. I've done What is it called?
Roaring to relaxed.
Roaring to relaxed. I wouldn't say she's relaxed, but she's learned
relaxed.
some things.
Less roaring.
And the thing I really like about your training is you break down the steps. So it's, it's not just like, okay, now she's going to do a full U-turn. You're teaching the steps to get there, but also you're telling me why I'm doing it. Because sometimes in training, they're like, you're going to do this U-turn. And I'm like, but why? When do I need to do this? Why is it important? Which is how my brain works. Maybe not everyone's does that, which has been great. And you also are very flexible. Like, I've done some in-person training, but we've also done Zoom where I just have, like, it's a private Zoom where she's telling me, like, things to do with Daisy. So
the relaxed part, too, is about the people. Right? So people can just kind of let some things go. Like, there's a lot of the human coaching part.
Yes.
And especially in my reactivity program, there's a lot of, what are you carrying around about your dog that is actually making things a lot harder for you? Right? Like, what kind of beliefs or what kind of things or what kind of guilt or perceptions or things that everybody has them. So what are they? Let's, delve into that a little bit, and then can we just set that aside because it's not serving anybody, it's not helping anybody, it's not you didn't cause it, you're not, all of that kind of stuff, right? So
it's been great. I've really enjoyed our training. I'm not done. I have a couple more sessions, but
gonna work with Frank.
5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars. Yeah, I'll review you. Do you have Yelp or do I Google reviews?
I need to get better
Perfect.
at it's hard
Google
to remember
reviews.
to ask people for reviews. I need to get better at that.
It's okay. I don't do it either.
Small business thing. It's hard.
It's so hard. I'll just send you and you can put it on your website.
I'm not allowed to do that.
Really?
No, not on Google. Put it on. I'll send it. I have
But
a
on
button
your
that says-
website.
I have a button that says send review.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do that.
I'll have a button.
I'll do it
sends a
too.
request.
Be like, I haven't trained with her. But here's the thing. I have sat down with her and talked extensively for 2 hours.
2 hours. No, I think the free webinars are a good chance to kind of get to know different approaches. And you may have noticed this past week, will kind of carry people along through their own experiences and then just, so why is it different?
Yeah.
Why is it different with your dog?
That just makes
kinda get
sense.
I think too, the
about
other great thing about your training is you have a Facebook group. Because I think
Yes.
a lot of people, when you have a reactive dog, you need to know other people are also, it's helpful. You're like, I'm not a horrible person. It's just, we're doing our best here.
It's just like a support group.
There's a lot of trainers that just work one-on-one, and that's totally fine. And we do private lessons as well. You've done that. But if you're working with me for reactivity or separation anxiety or all of the things that are very isolating for people, it's important to know. And somebody said it in the chat yesterday. She's like, to see that there are other people out there.
There's 70 people on the Zoom, and you're like, okay, so all of you have
reactive dogs.
somewhat reactive dogs.
214 people signed up.
That's
right. So it's
Mm-hmm.
it's way more common, I think, and there's different levels. I think when people think of reactive dogs, they think of dogs who just run around trying to kill other dogs or people, which is not what it is.
I think it was aggressive. Now it's reactive, but for a long time it was aggressive dogs. Yeah.
And so it's just dogs that have an overreaction, just a bigger reaction than what you might expect.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is, how has the community in this area supported you?
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, it's been awesome. I wasn't really sure how that was going to go, right? So there's Quinte Canine and there's myself that are force-free trainers in the area, and there's Amanda in Kingston, Silk, and Victoria that I know of. But it's, like I said, when you have sort of a predominance of a different approach to things, and then coming in from the city, you have a lot of there's a lot of talk on Facebook groups of anything that something goes wrong or something goes bad. Oh, it was people that were from the city, and I feel always a little bit vindicated when it turns out to be a local person.
It's usually a local.
It's usually a
It's
local.
nobody's driving from Toronto to rob the farm stand.
Oh, I remember that.
It's like wow. Anyway, so
They don't need to.
anyway, and it was interesting sort of figuring out how to connect with people. There's less diversity in a number of different ways out here versus in the city. So like pros and cons for things. I responded to one person's Facebook question, a Prince Edward County thing about their dog, and they came to the Roaring to Relaxed program. They work at, it's Catherine and Brittany from the Bloomfield Beauty Spa.
Ooh.
Were they on the thing? Were they
Yes,
on? Yeah.
they were also.
Their dog's cute.
They're so cute. They have two, and one is reactive, and one is just like, I love everybody. And it just kind of grew from there. And then I met Squiggy, and then I met Kira, and I met you guys. I met a bunch of people, and so it really has been like referrals and word of mouth out here, which is fantastic. And
Was it different when you were still in the city?
There was a little bit. Well, there's more to choose from, right? So you're kind of on the one side. It's harder to connect one-on-one with people.
Yeah.
Right? So where you will work with the client but not necessarily see them walking down the street later.
Yeah.
Or they might not be cooking your meal when you go for lunch on the weekend or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? So in a lot of ways it's both harder and it's harder in a small town sometimes to build community, but it can be easier also.
Yeah.
Depending on
It's like a long
people
game,
and
I
stuff.
feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. But getting word of mouth for any business is like
That's like
way
the
better
goal.
than any paid ad or any paid commercial or things like that.
We skipped one thing. How did you end up here?
Where here?
Like in Napanee / the county? Because you were in Toronto, right?
I was in Toronto, and then I still have a place in Mississauga, and that's where I go back and forth to. But we bought a cottage in Napanee. How I ended up in the county is I was following another Wheaton account, and it turns out to be Carol who owns the sniffery.
She has a Wheaton too?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
She
The
has a
Wheaton
too.
community.
And the sniffery is a private like sensory enrichment
It's so
experience for
cool
dogs,
sounding.
especially for reactive dogs or just senior dogs or dogs that don't enjoy always
Just
being
gives
at the
them,
dog
like-
park. Give them something else to do.
That's so cute.
And so we connected in an awesome way, and now my training space is on her property.
That's awesome.
I love that kind of collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like we're both doing the thing.
Which is-
Let's just do the thing together.
And then meeting a couple of people kind of in the wedding space in the county.
Oh.
Did we talk about this last time?
No. What is
No.
this?
So
your other business thing.
So my other
You have another business?
do
It
Do I-
involves dogs though.
in a really cute way.
Yeah.
Really, really sweet way. And it's actually kind of a nice counterbalance, right? So when I do work with puppies or when I do this other thing, it's a nice counterbalance to dogs who just need like just a lot more. It's a lot more serious. It's a lot more intense. So I used to decline requests to help with dogs at people's weddings.
Okay.
Because whenever I would see dogs at people's weddings, they were stressed out of their brains, and I just didn't
So many people.
like. I love my dog. I didn't have it at my wedding. He just wouldn't enjoy it, right? This one wouldn't enjoy it either. And so I kept declining it, and then I had a friend who said, "But if the dogs had you, they wouldn't be stressed out of their brains." I was like, "Wait, what?" So Tails Down the Aisle is a wedding service.
Cute.
And I basically make it stress-free for people to have their dogs at their wedding, but I do most of the handling. I'll do like the walk up to the end of the aisle. I don't want to walk someone's dog down the aisle.
You don't want to be a part of that.
I mean, if I have to, I have to, but I think they'd prefer to have somebody that they care about walk their dog down the aisle. Or sometimes we just send the dog down on their own, which is super fun, and then I just kind of scoot around to the other side. And I just make sure they have a good time so they can interact with people. They can see, like, the whole thing. People can see their dogs. They can see their dogs, and everybody has a good time. But it's up to me to decide when their dog has had enough, when their dog is like stressed out or might need a break, and that's been a lot of fun too.
That is
So it's
adorable.
At the Eddy, we've been at 100 Acre Wood. We have a couple booked for next year, and then there's just people who need pet care for their dogs because they're getting married.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Haley does that as well.
She's lovely.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I had a really good chat with her actually after our first interview.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Haley.
We really sorry, I'm not letting you leave yet.
That's okay.
We really focused on reactivity, but I know you offer other programs. Can you give us a brief overview of them?
So primarily anxious, frustrated, overexcited dogs are my focus. I also do separation anxiety. And there is one way that we used to tackle separation anxiety, and now there's ones that are a little bit more humane, science-based.
What did they used to do? Like put them in a room?
Just leave, and they'll get used to it. Right? But it was thought of more as dogs being disobedient or dogs being spiteful or dogs just demanding that you come back, as opposed to recognizing that they actually are freaked out.
Yeah.
Like they're panicked, they're scared.
Yeah.
So the approach now is building up confidence as opposed to, they'll just get used to it.
Yeah.
Right? Like be putting you on a roller coaster and just get used to it over and over and over and over.
Yeah,
and over
this will
and
be
over and over again.
fine.
It's like when Katie leaves me.
We have separation anxiety.
From each other.
Yeah.
I have separation anxiety from her. She's fine.
So you
Unsure.
need to practice these in small increments that are under your
And I have to leave you
threshold.
treats.
So how long can she be gone before you
2
start
weeks.
to feel anxious?
Yeah, that's the rough
2 weeks.
Before you feel anxious.
a day.
Or is it when she starts talking about leaving that you start to become
It's
anxious?
all of the above.
Right?
So it's really the talking is
drawing the parallels, there are dogs that clue into your departure cues. Like,
Yeah.
if only we just got ready in 1 second and walked out the door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, oh no, my bag, my keys, my water, where's my phone? I forgot something. I come back inside. You put on different clothes. You might do different makeup. You might grab a different jacket. There's a lot of information that your dog goes, this is the pattern from when they leave. So
there's-
whatever your pattern is before you plan, as you're planning to go on vacation and you're telling Kay about it.
She
you
just
need to
did this
break that
morning.
down into smaller.
She's like, I'm going to Florida. And I'm like, no, you're not.
I'm actually not. I don't know yet. I don't know if my dog sitter can do
small
it.
increments.
Yeah, we'll ease into it.
I would watch your dogs, but they'd eat
They'll
my
eat your
cats.
cats. And then you also do like boarding.
I was doing quite a bit of boarding and board and train in my home. But we're going to be doing less of that because it's really stressful.
Yeah.
You're on all the
time.
It's also, I think Logan needs a bit of a break.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing less of that. We do Haley does pet care services. So she does primarily those. So if people are going away and want someone to stay in their own home with their dog, we will
I feel like
do
that's
that.
like really like one of the best ways to do it, just because then the dog doesn't get
The
stressed
routine is the
out.
same. They
The
don't have to
routine-
leave home. Everything's the same. Your house is taken care of. Your dog is taken care of. It's just a lot easier.
Yeah.
So separation anxiety, roaring to relaxed. I do private sessions for just more difficult, involved cases. So behavior modification, and that might include like resource guarding, aggression towards people or family members. I might still have those cases participate in some of the roaring to relax because the theory and the information that I want to share is the same, but those sessions are generally private sessions. And then on occasion by referral only, I do puppies, and they're a lot of fun. And games. We talked about the games,
Yeah.
game-based training so that people are having fun training with their dogs.
Yeah.
So next year, because I'm already planning for next year, things like canine fitness and parkour, but not the kind you see on
I was like, parkour!
not the kind you see on Instagram. Controlled, non-injury canine fitness, parkour, like tricks classes
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Oh, that's fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
If I ever
telling
get a
people to do things with their dogs other than walk
Walking.
them and to have fun and kind of build that bond and focus.
Well, because Frank, like, it's nice to hear you don't have to walk your dog. I think there's this expectation that it's like you have to walk your dog for exercise or like training, whatever it is. But you taught me you don't have to do that. So like Frank doesn't walk because he gets so overstimulated, like it's just stressful for him. So he does backyard sniffing.
I think it depends on what your dog enjoys. Some dogs enjoy walking down busy streets, being confronted with other dogs, and they're fine, right? Other dogs do not.
No.
And so quite often we're making things worse in the beginning by just putting them in situations they can't handle over and over again. So take a break from walks. And there are other ways to exercise, stimulate give your dogs their physical activity other than, even if you don't have a backyard, there are ways to do that. So
It's like Emily's dog. He doesn't like to walk. When he comes over and stays with me, he just has my backyard.
Yeah.
Because it's all fenced in, and he just like sniffs and he looks at the air. And
I mean, it's hard for people more and more in the city, right? Like to have a fenced backyard is not something that's a bit more of a luxury.
Yeah.
Right. And so
it's expensive.
People want to walk their dogs, which is great, which depends on the motivations and whether it's something that your dog is actually getting something out of.
Yeah.
Right. Or even when you take your dog to like play fetch over and over and over and over again, people come back and they expect their dog to be relaxed, but their dog is like amped up because they're just like so full of adrenaline. Like, why aren't you tired?
Pumped, Mom.
Like we've done the physical stuff, but we haven't done a lot of the mental stuff to like bring that down.
This was a joy. You're my fave.
Thank you.
And I think really what people need to know is don't worry too much if your dog is a nincompoop. You just maybe need a trainer.
Just chill.
I would say first accepting that dogs can be different than what we see on TV.
Yes.
Right? Dogs have different personalities, different preferences, different comfort levels. And their sociability exists on like a spectrum of super, super friendly to, yeah, no, thanks. Right? And that's okay.
That's okay.
It's like me.
Yeah.
Like all of us.
Depends
really.
on
Like,
the day.
Do you love everybody that you come across? Do you
No.
want to stop and talk to everybody you come
Never.
across?
Never.
Right? So never. I feel like you have to be a degree of an extrovert to work in radio and
Yeah,
on the
you
radio.
do.
Oh, I'm not.
So,
She's
no,
digital.
I don't work. No.
But you're on a podcast?
Yeah, because I don't have to actually like go out. I can deal with people one-on-one.
We
You know
do
what I mean?
network. I do like the in-person networking. She does the online networking.
Smart.
Yeah, I'm like, I will go to things, but I'm terrified. I'm like a terrified
You're
little-
like Frank.
yeah.
Get too close, might bite him.
It's like, I just might bite you.
Yeah, I'm
No,
definitely
I'll just-
on the extroverted side, but still, like there's
See, I need to just like, I'm fine if I'm with somebody else,
Yeah.
but I need to have that
not your
extroverted
preference.
friend.
it's not your
That's like why I have a Katie.
or that where you derive your energy or fulfillment from is not from
People.
lots of people or continued exposure to lots and lots of people. Right? But I think it changes as you get older. Like
Yeah.
I think when you're younger, lots of people for some people.
Oh yeah, no,
and
like
then later
in my,
you're like, can I just stay home?
Yeah, right.
from like 19, I think, to like probably 34, I was like, I can do all of this and not feel fine. Anyways, this is not a therapy session for me.
It always is. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
also coming back
Thank
again.
you.
Yeah.
It was fun. And it actually was good because we know a little bit more about each
Yeah.
other now. Logan Swing Up Boy.
Thank
Such
you,
a sweet
Logan.
angel.
Okay, I'm gonna shut her down.
That was amazing. It was so amazing because we got to talk to a cool person and there was a dog.
What else do you eat in your day?
Nothing.
Honestly, I think that was a great way to do the day.
Yeah, she's so great, Tasha. Huge shout out. Love what you're doing with dogs. She's really helped me with my dogs. Helped me understand them because I took my dogs we unfortunately, had to leave the farm, so they only knew, Daisy specifically only knew like 100 acres and never being leashed and never seen squirrels or really other dogs to an apartment. So
That's a big change.
It was a big change. So it's taken some training, and Frank just has his own issues, as I talk about in the episode. But it is nice knowing there's other people out there who have reactive dogs. Like there is a community that Tasha has created that makes you feel less crappy about having reactive dogs.
Yeah. And our community specifically, because last week Frank decided to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
Literally a week ago.
A week ago. No, I think it was Thursday. I think it was Thursday last week. So we're dog sitting at my parents' house because my parents are away. So we have 4 dogs. We have their 2 dogs and my 2 dogs. And their door is one of the ones that even when you lock it from the outside, if you open it from the inside, it'll unlock.
Yeah.
And it's a pull down handle. And some of the dogs, I don't know which one, I assume it's Daisy, figured out how to open that door.
Nice.
And I walk inside through the garage and the door's open. 3 dogs are there. Frank is gone. And like a month ago, his tag came off his collar. It got pulled off. And I just didn't get it remade because I was like, he's always with us. Like, he doesn't really go on walks. Like,
This is why.
This is why, when he gets out by accident. So, yeah, shout out to, Belleville Neighbors Group, Quinte Lost Paws, the Humane Society. Like, we got him between me messaging you guys to put it up on the stations and get it in all the groups. I think it was about 45 minutes by the time we knew where he was. And whoever took him to the Humane Society, I don't know who it was. Thank you. If you ever hear this, thank you for taking my 3-legged dog to the Humane Society. And thank you. Huge shout out to the Humane Society.
Yeah. And the Quinte Lost Dog Network, I messaged them and they immediately, within 2 minutes, they were like, we were just about to post him. He's going to the Humane Society right now.
Yeah, and I'm sure other communities have groups like that, but I've seen Quinte Lost Paws find dogs, help track dogs, help find dogs.
Yeah. And tourists, everybody.
It's insane. So huge snaps.
There was a lady that messaged us on the 95.5 Hits FM Facebook page being like, oh, hey, saw the post, but now it's gone. I was going to go out and look. And it's just a complete stranger.
Yeah. And honestly, people who, my friends, thank you, Holly, thank you, Shar, Cole, our coworker, everyone was like, do you need help looking? Just having that sense of community when you're literally just freaking out, not knowing where your dog is.
Yeah.
Is a lot. So
it is a lot.
It felt really nice.
Losing a baby. It's
they are my babies. So I'm sure it's worse with a child. I can't relate. I don't have a child. They're my children. So it's
same but different.
Sucks. Yeah.
You know what? Same but different.
Yeah. So no, I just huge shout out to the community for helping me get my dog back so quick.
Yes.
Yeah. And you, because you did all the posts. Yeah. I felt like this was a good episode to do that in. But yeah, if you have a reactive dog, if you have a dog with anxiety, if you have just need little help. She also is doing, I think, doggy parkour soon.
That's so
sniffing
cute.
stuff. Just check out Fearless Tales and Tasha, and she does do. We talked about it briefly in the episode. She'll do workshops that are free, 2-session ones, just so you get a feel for what you can learn from her, and then it's a good time.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
She's great.
I love Tasha. What else is coming up? Nothing that I can think of. My brain's
Santa Claus parades.
Yeah. 95.5 Hits FM.
Side Hustle Market this weekend.
Cookie Mama will be there. I know that much. Your Creative Junction, you can go get, you can go make a craft, a gift for someone. And Alexis, Designs by Alexis Rose, she just updated her shelf in there, and there's beautiful wreaths.
Really? Mm-hmm. I think I needed.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Okay. And I know that she's been doing the wreath making workshops.
Yeah.
Tons of them. The Quinte Museum has, I think, new stickers and t-shirts.
Yeah, I think so.
Trying to think what else is going on.
Yeah, if you've been on, or if you haven't been on and want to be on the podcast, reach out. You can always join the Babes Network Instagram group, and we can approve posts that you want to put in there just to other small businesses.
Yeah, and then we can make sure that we share those on the Babes account. And
yeah, just reach out with anything.
Oh, Le Luxe Femme is moving.
Yeah, December 2nd is the new grand opening in Wellington.
That's exciting.
Very exciting.
And I want to give snaps.
Yeah, snaps.
To the staff at the Ryan Williams' office, because I had to get my daughter's passport renewed. And let me tell you about
journey.
The journey. I'm not going to actually go through the journey because I cried a lot. But needless to say, I took half a day off work, probably a full day considering all the other shit I did to get this thing done. I dug through custody papers from 2009. I called the Superior Court in Timmins, Ontario. I called probably Passport Canada and sat on hold for a solid 6 or 8 hours. It was ridiculous. So just shout out to Ryan Williams' office, Ingrid, and I don't remember the other staff's name, for just helping me out and helping me kind of get through the bureaucracy of getting a passport renewal.
It's not fun on a good day, and it was
very
way harder
messy
for you. Yeah.
But my kid can go on vacation now without me, so awesome.
Yay. Enjoy your vacay, Kate.
To everyone listening, she's going with her father.
Yeah,
That's
she's
why-
not just going by herself.
Just to make it very clear,
Yeah.
nobody's like, what the shit? She's letting her 15-year-old go on
No.
vacation without her? Yes, with her father. So there will be an adult. But she's going away, and I'm very jealous.
Yeah, I feel like you need a vacation. We've
so
learned about
jealous.
burnout.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you,
Quinte
Quinte Women in Business.
Literally, I left
This
there
was
and I
so
shut
great.
down.
Yeah, like I think that's why you were sick. Because I remember saying to Jenny, I was like, oh yeah, Kay's been sick. And she's like, yeah, she's burnt out. So we went to this, it was like resilience in the workplace.
Yeah.
For Quinte Women in Business, excuse me. And after, they're talking about burnout, and I go see Kay after, and I'm like, how's that? She's like, I realize I'm burnt out. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And you were like, what? I was like, you've been burnt out for months. Like,
Yeah.
I think everyone's known except you. You're in denial.
Yeah. And then I was like, I emailed Martha and I was like, I need to take like a week off or
do.
like a couple of days like throughout January so I can do my course and not burn myself out because I don't like being there because then I get really depressed.
Yeah. That's what happens with burnout.
Yeah. So, fun fact.
So if you are going through burnout or you know someone going through burnout, check on them and
Yeah.
maybe tell them. I thought you knew. So sorry.
No, I had, well, like, I mean, I knew I was like burnt out, but I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, I guess they really explain what it.
Yeah. So it's like now I feel like I understand the things to look for to be like, you know what? No, I can say no to things. I can step away. I don't have to do all of the things the day that I get them. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah, I struggle saying no, and I struggle not taking work home with me,
Yeah.
which I think we both do.
Yeah.
But it is learning to setting boundaries is hard.
And mine's like not even like totally just like work stuff. It's like making sure like sometimes I'll just like doom scroll and just like keep like learning about what's going on with AI or like, you know, what's the best way to do things on social media or like all these things. I'll read articles and articles and articles. And then I'm just like, oh my God, like I need to shut my brain off from.
That's why I watch Below Deck.
Yeah, that's why I watch
Shuts
Vanderpump
me-
Rules.
That's why I watch reality TV because I don't have to, I can shut my brain fully off. Mm-hmm. Like I don't have to think about work. I can just think about these people's lives and how insane they are. And it's so fun. And it gives me that just like subtle moment of peace.
Yeah. I was literally like sick on the couch. Vanderpump Rules was on and I was making a miniature
You
tea
got
house.
really into miniature things. So funny.
It's so effing cute.
It is cute.
Katie, I made like little
Oh, I saw.
like leather chairs. No, like these are new ones that I made yesterday
Oh, that's fun.
with actual leather.
I can't. It's so funny.
Adorable.
Jeanette did make me a granny square vest that I have to wear soon, so
I am very
I'll
excited
wear
to
it
see
next
this.
week. It's pretty
That's
good.
very
Thank
chic.
you, Jeanette. Yeah, very in right now. She hyper focused on it.
I keep
It's
seeing people getting mad because people are thrifting granny's like square blankets.
Yeah.
And then making them into,
great. Why are they mad?
I don't know.
Sounds great.
They're like, why would you ruin something?
Upcycle it.
And I'm like, it's in the thrift store. It is none of your business what I do with it afterwards.
Yeah, literally. Well, I guess people can be upset about things. I don't know. Just try not to be. I don't know.
Just care less.
Yeah. That's so hard, but
Care less.
I got nothing else. That was way better than last week. My like 3-minute intro extra. We had to catch up. Thank you guys for listening to 23 minutes of us
Oh boy.
and the episode. Yeah, have a great weekend. Bye.
Make good choices.
Watch Below Deck, Sailing You on Pie.
The Babies of Quinte podcast is recorded and produced at Starboard Communications, home of 95.5 Hits FM, Cool 100, and InQuinte.ca.